Hello and welcome to the New School Center for Media. Alongside Ryan Kordziel, I'm Ryan Parshall. We've got some big news in Albany circulating around the newly reformed Albany Patroons. With a press conference scheduled today, they're releasing the information on two former NBA players. One of them we have in studio as former Laker Smush Parker. Smush, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to see you.
All right.
All right, so starting out, you're going to be on roster for the Albany Patroons. Now, when's the first time you heard about the Albany Patroons?
When I met Coach Rowland.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So how did this all circulate into you coming here to Albany?
Well, we have a mutual contact. You know, he told me that Coach Rowland was looking for some New York City players. I was available. I met with Coach Rowland in New York City for a tryout, and the rest is history.
That's great. So what do you expect playing for the Patroons? Like, what's your personal goal?
To keep the historic line going.
Okay.
To bring back a championship here. I hear, you guys here have a great history with the Albany Patroons, and I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Oh, that's exactly right. And so with the history, you know, Phil Jackson used to coach here, and I know you used to play under Phil Jackson.
Yes, sir.
What was that like?
Dream come true.
Yeah?
Growing up in the 80s and 90s, I grew up watching Michael Jordan, the great Chicago Bulls, coached by Phil Jackson. So when I got a chance to play for him in LA, it was a movie script for me. Mm-hmm. He's a great coach, great guy, easy to play for. I love playing for Phil Jackson.
What was Phil Jackson like as a coach that made him who he is? What are his qualities that made him the coach that he is, the legend he is today?
Well, I mentioned that he's easy to play for. You know, some coaches are very high-strung, high energy, like to scream and overcoach. He's a player's coach. He allows you to play basketball. You make your mistakes. He's not into embarrassing his players. You make a mistake, he doesn't sub you out right away. His philosophy was, you make a mistake, he's going to allow you to play through it, and then maybe 2-3 minutes later in the game, he'll sub you out, and then come down and tell you what happened. But he's not into that negative energy. You make a mistake, go get him, sub him out. So it was an easy environment to play in, and I love playing for him.
That's a lot different style than many coaches.
Yeah.
But I gotta know, what's the weirdest story about Phil Jackson?
Weirdest story that I have? Funny story.
Okay.
When I was playing for Phil Jackson in LA, it was the time where he was having back issues.
Yeah.
And he had just had back surgery, and he wasn't allowed to walk.
He had the high chair, right?
He had the high chair, but the funny thing is, in practice, he had like one of those stand-up scooters. What do they call them?
Like a Segway?
A Segway.
Uh-huh.
So he'd be in practice on a Segway while we're running practice on a Segway, just standing there on this little Segway doing this, and then we go down there, he'd be rolling on the sideline. It was the funniest visual ever.
He was just segwaying around practice.
He's 6'10" already.
Yeah,
so
he's a big guy.
Big guy on a Segway, just moving like he's Magneto in X-Men.
Oh my God. And how often did this happen? Was this multiple?
No, the whole season.
The whole season he was on the Segway.
He was on a Segway.
Oh my God, that's probably the funniest story I've heard about Phil Jackson.
It's pretty funny.
So of all the players you've played with, both NBA and overseas, who do you think's been your most favorite or best teammate?
I've had a lot of great teammates. All the years I played in the NBA on each team. I started out in Cleveland in 2002. Then the Detroit Pistons after they won a championship.
Yeah.
I was on that great team, and then Phoenix with Steve Nash, Sean Marion, and those guys. Then LA. On LA, for me, there's three players I actually enjoy playing with: Lamar Odom,
okay,
Luke Walton, and Brian Cook.
Really, Brian Cook too?
Brian Cook is a good guy.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
guy.
someone you really don't think about too often because he's not a household name. Luke Walton now more so, you know,
Yeah.
for coaching.
Yeah.
Lamar Odom, of course, but Brian Cook.
Yeah, Brian Cook.
So going back, you said you played for the Pistons. I know you were on the court November 19th, 2004.
The melee.
Tell me what happened there.
Well, I was playing behind Chauncey Billups and Lindsey Hunter. You know, they had just got finished winning a championship. I wasn't expecting much minutes. Second year in the league, I was learning a lot. You know, behind Larry Brown was the coach at the time.
Yeah.
And I was just happy to be in the game. It was fourth quarter. It was what you call trash time.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to play basketball. And if you watch the clip, you see me holding the ball at half court when the melee happens.
I remember seeing that.
And I'm
You
just
weren't
looking
even in
like
on
in
it.
my mind, I'm like, man, I just got in the game. I want to play. But no, things escalated between Ron Artest and Ben Wallace, and it was just one of
The
the
malice
crazy,
at the palace.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't shocked about it being in that environment because I played overseas.
Okay.
I've seen crazy fans.
Yeah.
I played in Greece, and it doesn't get any more wild than playing any sport in Greece and having 20,000 fans screaming and chanting and singing the whole game.
Speaking of playing in Greece, excuse me, now you played in the Greek Basketball Cup.
Yes, sir.
And you helped win the final.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
describe what it was like to play in Greece and how it differs from playing here in the United States?
Well, it differs a lot. It differs a lot. They take their sports very seriously, very, very seriously. They're passionate about their home team. It's almost like they have personal. It's pride. It's an ego thing for them. It's pride. It's prideful to be from the same hometown that their team is from. So when they win, they take it to heart. When they lose, they take it to heart. So they're very passionate people, and when there's a rivalry, it gets dangerous. It's violent. The opposing team will come with their own set of fans and family, and they'll come to the arena, and they will have to be separated by riot police. Riot cops are always at the games. I actually played a championship game in an arena with no fans because they had to clear everybody out because the fans actually wanted to fight each other and it just got too rowdy.
Wasn't there a flare that was shot off during that game?
Yes. Okay, you did your research. Yes, championship game, I'm bringing the ball up, and I'm in the backcourt bringing it up, and I see a red flare shoot across my head to the other side of the arena where the opposing team's fans was, and I literally paused and I was like, what was that? The referees stopped the game, and for an hour and a half they were just busy trying to clear everybody out.
And then they came back and resumed the game.
With no fans.
What was that like playing in?
It was just like a glorified pickup game.
Wow. I bet you probably liked that though.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I wanted the fans there. I liked the fans.
Yeah.
But playing in an empty game, empty arena, for that big of a game was kind of weird. It's a
That's
champion.
true. Yeah,
it was for
yeah.
the Greek Cup, and there's no fan. You're playing in it like it was just practice. It was weird.
That's wild. So you're from the city.
Yes.
Tell me about growing up in the city and basketball probably being your passion obsession.
Well, New York City is the mecca of basketball.
Of course.
You hear that all the time, but it's really the truth. You can't go 2 blocks in any direction and not see a basketball court. So I grew up playing basketball. Literally, every day, 24 hours a day. When I wasn't in school, I was at a basketball court. When I wasn't doing homework, I was at a basketball court. When I wasn't sleeping, I was at a basketball court. So basketball's who I am. Mm-hmm. And I grew up, I say I was born with the basketball. I tell people that all the time. I was born with the basketball, and it shaped my childhood. It shaped who I am today, and because I did it so much, I became good at it. Maybe just a little bit, but good enough to play at the highest level.
Sure. And speaking of the highest level, I heard in an interview once you said that once you reached and started playing in the NBA, you almost kind of lost some love for the game.
Uh-oh. No. Well, it was a rude awakening to find out that basketball here in America is a business.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I enjoy basketball. I love the game of basketball. I love playing basketball. I do it for the love. I don't do it to make money. I don't do it for the fans. I don't do it to be famous. I do it for the love. When I got to the NBA, it's unfortunate, but basketball here in America has become a business, and that's pretty much how it's run here in America. In the NBA is,
and especially then compared to overseas, because you had played overseas prior to the NBA, so then you got to see that feel of the actual playing, the actual sport versus the business of the sport.
Definitely.
Is that what made you decide to play for the Patroons? Of all the teams you could play for, why Albany? Why the Patroons?
Well, if you know a little bit about where I've been, I've played in some strange places.
Yeah, Venezuela,
Dominican Republic,
Mongolia?
Lebanon, Mongolia.
When I saw that, I was like, I didn't even know they had basketball in Mongolia.
Mongolia. I've used basketball as a means to travel the world, experience new cultures, experience new experiences. So I've never been to Albany. When I got the opportunity to come back to the States, I've been playing overseas for the last 9 years.
Yeah.
When the opportunity presented itself to play here in the States in a city that I've never been to, I jumped at the idea. I mean, I'm all open for new experiences.
That's great. And so, traveled the world, played for so many different teams. Now, I'm not going to ask you what your favorite team was or what your favorite place was, but what's the weirdest food you've had?
The weirdest food. You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna just say this. I played 2 years in China.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna just leave
That's
it.
just leave it.
I'm gonna just leave it like
some
that.
things out there. All right, and I have to ask one of my last questions now. I know about the Smushcalade.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Is that still a thing?
No, it's not a thing. I gave up the Smushcalade a long time ago.
So the Smushcalade, for anyone who doesn't know, was a customized Escalade you had. Was it out in Los Angeles?
Yes, it was.
And so you had a 37-inch TV.
Yes, I did.
The Smushcalade.
Yes, I did.
What was that like driving that around?
It was at the time. It was. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was a 37-inch flip down projector screen. I had Xbox connected to a PlayStation. It was the extended version, extended Escalade with the middle seats out and just the back couch. I mean, for me, it was exciting. I enjoyed it.
And this was back in like what, 05 it would have been?
Yeah, about 06. Yeah, 2006.
And you had a TV and Xbox in your car.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
At the time, it was awesome.
You have any other questions, Ryan?
I got a couple more. What's the one moment in your career that you're most proud of? If you could pick one thing out of everything you've done that stands out the most, what would it be?
Well, hands down for me, when you ask that question, the first thing that pops up into my mind is my second year out of college. I was playing in Greece, and my dad came to visit me, and he was sitting in the stands watching me play, and I hit a three to put the game into overtime, and the crowd went nuts. They're chanting my name. It's amazing to hear 5,000 to 10,000 people just chanting your name. And in overtime, I hit another three to win the game.
Oh my.
Just to have my father in that experience and witness that whole environment, it touched me deeply.
That's a beautiful story. What are your expectations for the Albany Patroons this season and beyond? But what do you think is your goal for the team?
My goal for the team is to win. Point blank period. I just want to win. I know with the history that Coach Rowland brings and the experience that he has, he's bringing a good team together. I've played all around the world. I played 6 years in the NBA. I think I figured out a little bit on how to win basketball games.
Yeah, a little bit.
I want to win a championship.
Okay.
I've won 2 championships in China. I've won 1 championship in Greece. I want to win another one. I like that feeling. I like the feeling of winning. So that's what I want to bring back here to the Patroons, a season of winning.
The fans are going to love that. Everybody in the area wants to win, and they were hungry for a local team to do that. My last question for you, you're one of the biggest names clearly on the Patroons.
Me?
I would say so. Does that come with added pressure, knowing that people know who you are? You've played in the NBA, you've been around for a while. Does that come with added pressure?
Not at all. Basketball is basketball at all levels. like I said, I grew up playing basketball. This is something that I love doing. I don't do it for the fans. I don't do it for the money. I do it because I love it, and I think I'm pretty good at it. So every day I just go out there and try to play like there's nobody around. I just have fun doing it, and it's going to be fun for me.
I think it's going to show on the court. It is. And so this is my last question for you. So I gotta sell you to the fans. You ready for this?
Yes, yeah, I'm ready.
Can you still get up? You still dunk?
Oh, of course.
Oh,
of course.
Because I've seen some highlights, and you've thrown down some vicious dunks. So some fans in Albany, they're gonna expect some similar things.
Oh no. Well, I have some. You'll meet one of my teammates out there. He says he could dunk a little bit. I'll leave the dunking to him.
Okay. So you're gonna throw him in?
Yeah, the young boy. I'll leave the dunking to young boy out there.
All right, Smush. Well, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for
really
having
appreciate
me.
it.
Right.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to New School Center for Media alongside Ryan Kordziel. I'm Ryan Parshall. Check back later for another interview with 2 other Albany Patroon players. Thank you.